Welcome back to another episode in the proof series where I explain why things happen in mathematics. Right now I'm explaining why is the derivative of cotangent of x equal to negative cosec squared of x. Okay, let's get right to it. So we'll start with obviously cot x. Now, what's a trigonometric identity for cotangent of x? It should be 1 over tan of x. Okay? Now, what is 1 over tan of x? Well, if we break this up, tan of x, we start with tan of x, and that's equal to sine of x over cosine of x. So if we were to flip tan x on the bottom and make it 1 over tan x, we would have to flip these as well, and so we would have cosine over sine. Okay, so this is equal to cosine of x over sine of x. Now that we've got that, we can do something. We can say we have u over v, which we can use the quotient rule then to solve. Okay, so the derivative of cotangent of x would be equal to u dash v. Minus u multiplied by v dash over v squared. U dash, if u is cosine, the derivative of cosine is negative sine x. Multiply that by v, which is sine x, minus u cos x, running out of room, multiplied by v dash. If v is sine, the derivative of sine, we're going to be multiplying it against cos x, because the derivative of v, if v is sine x, we get cos x. And that's all over v squared, v being sine, so we have sine x squared. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, multiply this onto each other. Negative sine x multiplied by sine x is negative sine squared x, minus negative cos x multiplied by cos x is negative cos squared x, all over sine squared x. Okay, so that's simplified. We're another step through the process. Now there's a trigonometric identity that says sine squared x plus cos squared x equals 1. Therefore, if we want the top half to be equal to 1, we have to find a way to get sine squared x plus cos squared x. So let's factor out the negative 1 from each of them. And if you don't know what I mean, if you had a sine x and you multiplied a negative 1, you would have negative sine x. So if you have a negative sine x squared, and that essentially is a negative 1 multiplied by sine squared x. So if we factor that out, negative 1, we'll have sine squared x plus cos squared x. Because I factored out, I'll just write this, because I factored out the negative 1 from both of these. Okay? With me? I can't hear you, so hopefully you are. So, this now equals 1, because sine squared x plus cos squared x equals 1. So we have negative 1 multiplied by 1 over sine squared x. That leaves us with negative 1 over sine squared x. Now why did I bring the negative down there and not leave it up top? Well, because those are the same things, because if you have a negative on the top or a negative on the bottom, it's still a negative fraction. So if you put the negative at the front, it's the same. Okay? Now, if we have a look at another little rule, which states that cosec of x is equal to 1 on sine of x. Sure, they might look similar, but if we squared this, we'd square that, and if we made this a negative, we'd make this a negative. Therefore, negative 1 over sine squared x equals negative cosec squared x. What does negative cosec squared x equal? The derivative of cotangent of x equals negative cosec squared x. That's the answer to y, and I hope this video helped. Thanks for watching.